As-salamu Alaikum, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into topics that matter to our faith and our daily lives. Today, we're tackling a question that sparks a lot of debate in our community. Why should working in banks be prohibited for Muslims? This is a sensitive topic, but an important one, and we're going to explore it with clarity, evidence, and respect. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's get into it. Banks are a huge part of modern life. From savings accounts to loans, they seem unavoidable. But for Muslims, the question isn't just about convenience. It's about aligning our work and lives with Islamic principles. Is working in a bank compatible with our faith? Let's find out. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever wondered about this topic? To understand why working in banks might be problematic, we need to talk about riba. Riba, often translated as usury or interest, is explicitly prohibited in Islam. The Quran is crystal clear about this. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 275, Allah says, "Those who consume interest cannot stand on the day of resurrection except as one stands who is being beaten by Satan into insanity." This is a powerful warning. Riba is considered a major sin because it creates injustice, exploits the vulnerable, and disrupts the balance of wealth in society. But what does this have to do with working in banks? Well, most conventional banks, whether they're in New York, London, New Delhi, or Dubai, rely on interest-based transactions as their core business model. Loans, mortgages, credit cards, savings accounts, they all involve riba in some form. If you work in a bank, you're often directly or indirectly facilitating these transactions. Whether you're a teller processing a loan payment or a manager approving a mortgage, you're part of a system built on riba. Islamic scholars, like those from the Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, and Hanbali schools, have long debated the permissibility of such work, and many argue it's impermissible because it involves aiding something haram. Now, some might say, "But I'm just a cashier or a customer service rep. I'm not setting the bank's policies." That's a valid point, and we'll address it later. But first, let's look at what Islamic finance offers as an alternative. Islamic finance avoids riba by focusing on profit sharing, leasing, and ethical investments. For example, instead of a loan with interest, Islamic banks use models like murabaha, cost plus financing, or musharaka, partnership. These systems align with Sharia principles, ensuring fairness and mutual benefit. Working in an Islamic bank, for instance, could be a halal alternative for Muslims seeking careers in finance. So, what do Islamic scholars say about working in conventional banks? Let's break it down. Many prominent scholars, like Sheikh Ibn Baz and Sheikh Uthaymin, have ruled that working in riba-based institutions is generally haram. They argue that even non-managerial roles contribute to the system of riba, which is forbidden. However, there's a spectrum of opinions. Some contemporary scholars, like those from Al-Azhar, suggest that in cases of necessity, say if there are no other job options and you're supporting a family, certain low-level bank jobs might be permissible, provided you don't directly handle riba transactions. For example, a security guard or an IT specialist might not be as directly involved as a loan officer. But here's the catch. Even these lenient opinions come with a big asterisk. Scholars emphasize that Muslims should actively seek halal alternatives and not stay in such jobs long-term. The goal is to prioritize taqwa, God consciousness, and avoid any gray areas that could compromise your faith. Imagine standing before Allah on the day of judgment. Will you be able to justify spending years in a job tied to riba? It's a tough question, but one we need to ask ourselves. Beyond the religious perspective, riba has real-world consequences that align with why Islam prohibits it. Conventional banking systems often deepen inequality. Interest-based loans trap people in debt, especially the poor, while the wealthy profit. In 2023, global household debt reached $59 trillion, much of it driven by interest payments. That's not just numbers. It's families losing homes, students drowning in loans, and communities struggling to survive. Islam's prohibition of riba isn't just about following rules. It's about building a just society. When you work in a bank, you're part of a system that often contradicts these values. On the other hand, Islamic finance promotes ethical wealth distribution, like through zakat and profit-sharing models, which uplift communities. By choosing careers that align with these principles, Muslims can contribute to a fairer, more equitable world. It's not just about avoiding haram, it's about actively doing good. Now, let's tackle some common counter-arguments. First, some say, banks provide essential services. How can they be completely haram? It's true. Banks offer services like checking accounts or money transfers that don't always involve riba. But the reality is, most banks' profits come from interest-based products. By working there, you're still supporting that system, even if your role seems neutral. Another argument is, I need the job to survive. We hear you. Islam recognizes necessity, but scholars urge us to treat these situations as temporary. If you're in a bank job, start upskilling. Look into Islamic finance certifications, tech roles, or entrepreneurship. There are halal options out there, even if they take effort to find. Finally, some say, Islamic banks aren't perfect either. That's fair. Some Islamic banks have faced criticism for not being fully Sharia compliant. But that doesn't justify working in a riba-based system. Instead, it's a call to support and improve Islamic finance institutions. So what can you do if you're working in a bank or considering a banking career? Here are some practical steps. Educate yourself. Learn about riba and Islamic finance. Read books like Introduction to Islamic Finance by Mufti Taqi Usmani, or take online courses. Seek halal alternatives. Look for jobs in Islamic banks, ethical investment firms, or non-financial sectors like tech or education. Upskill. Get certifications in Islamic finance, accounting, or data analysis to make yourself competitive in halal fields. Consult scholars. If you're unsure about your specific job, reach out to a trusted scholar or fatwa council for personalized advice. Make dua. Ask Allah for guidance and halal rizq provision. Trust that He will open doors for you. Transitioning to a halal career might not happen overnight, but with intention and effort, it's absolutely possible. Working in banks might seem like a practical choice in today's world, but as Muslims, our ultimate goal is to please Allah and live by His guidance. The prohibition of riba is clear, and while there are gray areas and necessities, we should strive for careers that align with our faith and values. Whether it's moving to Islamic finance or exploring entirely new fields, the effort to seek halal rizq is a form of worship. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you or someone you know navigated this issue? Share your stories in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content on living a faith-driven life. Until next time, may Allah guide us all to what is halal and pleasing to Him. As-salamu Alaikum.